Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. So today we're going to be doing a showcase on Sakura. We did pull her in the, if you didn't watch our summon video, go ahead and watch that. But we did pull her second multi. So this character is not all that crazy of a character, I don't feel like. I didn't even think about it when reading her skills before. But she is going to be useful against a boss that is currently out, and that is going to be the Train, because the Train is a wind type enemy, right? And I didn't even figure that out myself. Obviously, somebody told me that part. I didn't think about the Train at all. Honestly, I didn't want to, especially since they just dropped Biscuit, and like everybody was just saying Biscuit, Makima, Train, Biscuit, Makima, Train. I would have never thought they would have dropped another character for Train. But essentially, yeah, she's kind of for the Train. I feel like she is kind of for the Train. So we're gonna talk about this character, talk about if she's good or not. So the gear we have here is tier 9 gear, T9 gear, and then obviously a tier 8 piece. Unfortunately, I don't have another full set of T9 gear for the supporters, but she is a supporter. She's a Tetra, a sniper rifle, and obviously a fire code enemy. With that, you can actually put somebody like Soda on the team to increase her stacks, or just somebody like Pepper who does it for free. But let's talk about her skills. All level 1. So her first skill activates after 3 normal attacks. Affects all allies. Cherry Blossom Tea. Increases defense by 4.81%. And that stacks up to 10 times. Lasts for 15 seconds. So at max, it's going to be, what, 48.10% of defense increase, which is going to be nice. Nothing like all that, especially how defense works in this game, but it's still nice. Her second skill, when attacking enemy projectiles, damage to that projectile is increased by 4.57% permanently. So that's a free ability there, regardless of the percentage, it's free. And then her second part of that, when entering a full burst skill cooldown is decreased by 2.86 seconds. All level 1 skills again. Her burst skill affects all allies. Damage dealt by wind-coated enemies decreases by 56.16% and lasts for 30 seconds. This can only be activated once per battle. And then she also increases attack by 12.35% of caster's attack. That lasts for 10 seconds, and that's every time she uses a burst skill. And then when fully stacked on Cherry Blossom Tea, damage to interruption parts is increased by 13.91%. So, and that lasts for 30 seconds. Now, the problem with this character here, like, there's a lot of problems here for me. Right, first off, the attack buff she gives, right? Let me open up my main screen, pull up a calculator for you guys. The attack buff she gives is an increase of 12.35% of her attack. Not just, like usually characters increase attack of all allies by just 12.35%, just raw, not of the caster's attack. So essentially, when we use her burst skill, let me pull up the calculator, we will, what's her attack? 20,282 times 0.1235 by 2,504. We're going to get our attack increased by 2,504, which is not that bad, obviously. I mean, it's still free, but, like, if we were just to get, what's it called? The attack increase, it would just increase our attack by 35%, right? So yeah, I don't think that's all that great, because characters like Litter exist where Litter increases attack. Like, I'm not saying the percentage has to be the same, but Litter, for example, increases attack just by a certain percentage, not of her attack, right? And especially since she's a supporter, like, it doesn't really make sense to me. So yeah, the cube we got on her is the Bastion cube, though. Increased rounds is gonna be whatever. You could also give her the, which one is it? The Junting cube, which increases her charge speed, because that's kind of slow as hell. Or you can give her the Onslaught cube. The Resilience cube, my bad. The Resilience cube, which is reload speed, right? I believe, yeah, reload speed. You can give her one of the 3. So you can give her a Junting cube, Resilience, or Bastion cube. It doesn't matter. I'm giving her the Bastion cube just because the other characters on my team have the Resilience cube. But we're gonna take her into campaign and test her out there. So yeah, I do think she's not all that great. Again, we gotta wait for the Train again, because that's what she seems to be meant for. We're gonna actually put her in the first slot here. We're gonna go up against these enemies here, right? Kind of get like her thing. Since we can only use her burst skill basically once, like the biggest part of her burst skill is the damage taken, right? Or the damage dealt from the wind-coated enemies. But where there's no wind-coated enemies here, and this is like I said, right? It's bad because it's so situational. Basically, if I'm not fighting wind-coated enemies, it's a useless effect, right? We're only going to get the attack buff. So, right now, as you guys can see, let me go to her. So, we just got our first stack. We just got our first stack after 5. Let me refresh. How much seconds is that? Because her charge speed is, again, that's why you need the cubes, right? But I think that was 5 seconds for her first stack, right? Let me see. Is it 130 seconds? It's 130 seconds. So because she has to use 3, it's going to charge. We just got our first stack after 5 seconds. We're getting our second stack after... Okay, 10 seconds, right? So I want to say every 4 to 5 seconds we're going to get a stack if we're not reloading. Her ultimate is so nice, though. Her burst skill is, like, really nice. But we're getting a massive... Not a massive, but we're getting an attack buff here. Obviously, with litter, we would have gotten a much bigger one. So it's kind of, like, just weaker than what's happening right now. But as you see, we're already 30 seconds into the game, and we're still not at max stacks, right? So I don't feel like that defense stacking is going to be all that great in PvP because she's going to die by then, right? And again, it's not that big of a percentage. Obviously, it's helping us here, I feel like, but it's going to take us exactly... We're almost a minute in. We're almost a minute and she died anyways. I mean, we're not supposed to win that stage. We weren't going to win that stage with that team. But as you guys seen there, we were already 30 seconds in, almost a minute in, and she wasn't even fully stacked, right? Now, again, we have the Bastion cube. That just gives us an extra bullet. Maybe if we had a different cube, like the Resilience cube, it will be faster. But I don't think she's going to be all that great. Overall, I don't think she's going to be all that great, right? Wind-coated enemies, like, the reason why I'm saying he's going to be nice against Train, because Train is a wind enemy, right? It's going to be nice against the projectiles and stuff like that. But overall, it's just not that great. We're going to go into this hard mode here, hard 4, and try it out here, see if we can live longer, to see how long it will take for us to get full stacks if we run this setup right here with the Bastion cube and stuff. Right, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think she's all that great. I'm going to test her in PvP as well to see how well. But basically, like, it's going to take long, right? Depending on the cube, I want to say, right? We're just getting an extra round with the Bastion cube. So instead of 6 bullets, I believe it's 7. We'll see when we reload here, right? So, no, I guess it's 6 still. Is it just the first time, maybe? I don't even know. 6. No, it's 7. Okay, it just says 6, 6. Okay, it's still 7, right? I'm just tripping there. So yeah, we're about... Okay, so she's gonna hit the 9 stack after this bullet here. 9 stacks, and again, because it lasts for 15 seconds, it's gonna be like, it's gonna stay there the whole time. But now we're at 10 stacks, so it takes 50 seconds for her to get full 10 stacks with this build. Right? So now everybody here has a 48.10% defense increase, which is not that bad. If you have a character like Soda or Pepper, like I said before, you can increase the stacks even more. Right? But again, having that defense stack could be nice. Especially, again, in the train, it's going to be nice. It just depends on how long the train takes to do its stuff, right? I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's not that bad, right? This was just a matter of time on our side here. Right? That was just a matter of time here. But, again, if you do get the full 10 off, it could make or break stuff. She's probably definitely a character you want to invest skills in. I mean, I wouldn't recommend investing your skills into her. But she's definitely a character who will benefit from having her skills increase. Right? Like, if you're asking me if I should invest, if you should use your currency on her skills, the answer is no. From me personally. Right? It just doesn't feel that valuable, especially since she's only going to really work against, like, the train. Wind-coated enemies are not, like, if you're not fighting a wind-coated enemies, I feel like you're not getting much value out of her, right? I feel like you're, like, the thing that makes her shine the most is this part right here, right? The damage dealt by wind-coated enemies decreased by a big percentage for, a long time, for 30 seconds. That's big. But if you're not fighting a wind-coated enemy, what is happening? You know what I mean? Like the projectile damage is nice, the burst cooldown is nice, the defense is nice too, the attack is nice too. But what you really want from her is this damage dealt, right? And I feel like only against the train that's really gonna matter, or when you're fighting wig coated enemies. But even still, you know what I mean? That's just going to make you survive longer. It's not even going to matter if you still don't have the damage, right? If you don't have the damage to get rid of the enemies, you're just going to tank longer, but it's not, because the timers, you're not going to really clear. You're just going to tank to still lose, essentially. So it depends, right? You have to have damage when it comes. You have to consider little things like that. You have to still have the damage, right? Because if I go into whatever, let's say 918, right? 918 or 1918. Let's say 1918 is wind-coated enemies, right? Sure, I'm tanking the damage. Because of her, I'm staying alive. But if I don't have the damage to kill the enemies, the timer is still there. It's just kind of useless, right? So I have a tier list on her, right? I'm still going to do more testing with her, right? I know Gravedigger's out now, so I'm going to test her out with the projectile stuff and see how it works and all that stuff. But I will give you a tier with her. Honestly, besides her design, not really a character you need, but that's just my opinion, right? Let me know what you guys think below, and it's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Peace.